Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
Come enjoy yourselves at the annual Christmas fundraiser for A Legacy Home Christmas. Take part in giving a child a very Merry Christmas and a second chance at life. December 14th at 6:30 p.m. with dinner and live entertainment at Vermeer Global Pavilion in Pella. RSVP individually or host a table of 8. Contact 641-232-0049 or use the email on the screen. Music features Christian recording artist Todd Agnew. A Legacy Home Christmas fundraiser December 14th, 6:30 p.m. at the Vermeer Global Pavilion in Pella. The Watch Your Opera House in Watch Your, Iowa is having an Opera House Christmas on Saturday, December 7th at 7 p.m. with Peggy Wardenberg of Williamsburg and Marina Springer of Oskaloosa. Peggy will be singing some golden oldies along with a mix of Christmas songs, and Marina will be singing some favorite Christmas classics along with some original holiday songs. It's all for a free will donation. Get more info at watchyyouroperahouse.org or on the Watch Your Opera House Facebook page. It's an Opera House Christmas this Saturday at 7 p.m.
Hi, this is Stacy with Shuttler Insurance Services on the east side of the square in Sigourney. I'd like to invite you to my open house this Thursday, December 5th. KCED will hold a ribbon cutting at 3:45, followed by an open house until 7 p.m. Come for snacks, sign up for prizes, check out the office, and learn more about Shuttler Insurance Services, providing the coverage you need with the care you deserve. Hope to see you this Thursday from 4 to 7.
Friends of the Sigourney Library Tour of Homes is this Sunday, December 8th from 1 to 5 p.m. Tour festively decorated homes decked out for the holidays. Stop by the Sigourney Public Library from noon to 4 p.m. for a hot drink and a sweet treat, included with ticket purchase. Let's eat, drink, and be merry. Tickets are $15 each or 2 for $25 and may be pre-purchased at the Sigourney Library or on the day of the event. It's the Friends of the Sigourney Library Tour of Homes this Sunday from 1 to 5. Shop Sigourney TV and Appliance at 103 East Marion on the south side of the square in Sigourney for brands like Whirlpool, Speed Queen, Samsung, and Dish. Sigourney TV and Appliance offers sales and service on appliances and TVs. They invite you to shop and compare. Stop in on the south side of the square in Sigourney and visit with the owner, Gary Cruz, or call 641-622-2511. That's Sigourney TV and Appliance. Aesthetics by Lily is located in Stella's Salon and Boutique in Oskaloosa. Lily offers facials, dermaplaning, lash services, brow services, and facial waxing. She's also a certified acne specialist. Aesthetics by Lily is located inside Stella's Salon at 1211 A Avenue East, Oskaloosa. Schedule an appointment by calling 641-790-0357. You can also find Aesthetics by Lily on Facebook. For beauty, cosmetic, and personal care, see Aesthetics by Lily in Oskaloosa. Mahaska Chamber and Development Group and Oskaloosa Main Street invite you to come to Oskaloosa this week. The Young Ambassador Contest is December 2nd with the ceremony at 6 p.m. at Penn Central Mall. And the main event is Twinkling Christmas, the Lighted Christmas Parade, this Saturday at 7 p.m. Come enjoy the one-of-a-kind Lighted Christmas Parade in downtown Oskaloosa, where floats are lit with over 1 million lights. Get in the spirit of Christmas. With the theme Twinkling Christmas, events are happening in Oskaloosa all week long. Shop Jen Miracle, located at 119 South Market on the square in Oskaloosa. Open Monday through Saturday. Shop Jen Miracle is a women's clothing boutique where you're welcomed with a smile while you shop for clothing, accessories, home items, and lots of stocking stuffers for this holiday season. Shop Jen Miracle strives to have the best prices. Everything is under $50. Find Shop Jen Miracle on Facebook for more information. Shop Jen Miracle in Oskaloosa, attainable style under $50.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show.
And now, your hosts of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the For Frequency's Sake Tag Team Champions of the World, the Wizard CZ, and Never Wrong, Nick Bull.
Good evening, everyone. Hello once again, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the podcast by the fan for the fan. Of course, we are powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo, and protected by Jared Zook of Country Financial. We're the Card Subject to Change podcast. I'm your host, Never Wrong, Nick Bull. I'd be remiss if I did not announce my tag team partner. We are the current co-tag team champions of the For Frequency's Sake Network, with our next title defense to be determined. I know that's going to bother some people out there, especially those that sit in hot tubs with pizza rolls. But regardless, I digress. Little shout out there to our buddy Rob Kammer, my co-partner, my co-host. He is the one. He is the only. He is the Wizard CZ. Wiz, how did this Thanksgiving holiday treat you, and how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. It was a pretty laid back, long weekend. Got to watch some wrestling, play little video games. But yeah, it was good. How about yourself?
Can't complain. Anytime there's food, naps, and wrestling involved, in no particular order, you can sign me up for it. Had plenty of food, took plenty of naps, and of course, we're going to break down last night's action of Survivor Series War Games here in a little bit. That was the wrestling this weekend. I know TNA had a show Friday night, of course, outside of other regularly scheduled programming. So plenty of wrestling out there to catch if you wanted to. We're going to break down the Survivor Series. Wow, episode 160. Here we are, and we're glad you're with us. So happy you're with us here on the For Frequency Network. We are Card Subject to Change, podcast by the fan for the fan. And Wizard CZ, how do you want to kick this thing off? How did you want to start this show?
Wait, before we get into anything, you mentioned our next title defense to be determined. Whether you're in a hot tub full of pizza rolls or not, if Cody Rhodes hasn't defended his title since September 13th, I don't feel bad that we're not defending ours.
Was that the last time he defended it?
That is the last time, over 2 months ago.
I'm not one of those guys clamoring since he hasn't wrestled. I thought it was kind of cool they gave him a pay-per-view off.
I agree. I mean, I'm not upsetting or poo-pooing on that. It just, a lot of people bitched and complained about Roman Reigns not defending his title, and they blamed Roman, and now Cody's kind of fallen in the same boat. And I'm hearing people.
The Reigns aren't even close. Cody hasn't been a champ for 8 months.
You remember when there was a rule that you had to defend your title within every 30 days?
Oh, I remember that. Sure. I remember if you couldn't defend it, you had to forfeit it. I mean, Rhea Ripley had to forfeit her title earlier this year because she couldn't defend it. So, yeah, they need to revisit those rules about defending your title every so often. I agree. I'm not saying. But I'm telling you what, this pay-per-view did not need a Cody Rhodes match.
No,
in my opinion.
I don't think so at all. We'll get to letter grades towards the end of the show, but I'm excited to talk about all things Survivor Series War Games, and we might as well start.
We're kind of doing this. We're kind of doing this old school. We haven't talked to each other since the pay-per-view, so it's all going to be kind of new and fresh on here on the show. Yes. I watched it late last night. I know you watched it live. I did all I could to avoid spoilers, man. It's harder than you think in this modern age.
Were you able to?
Social media and everything. But I did a pretty good job of avoiding spoilers. I only saw one, and it didn't ruin the show for me. So, yeah, let's break down this show.
Let's do it. Let's just jump right in. I just want to, before we get into the actual match itself, I want to talk to you about what a crazy hodgepodge of people this women's War Games match was.
I will agree with you. My criticism of this match going into the show was it's thrown together. You know, the other one has a story, and it's going to be hard to replicate that story on the women's side. And you got names on the shelf like Charlotte and Becky Lynch who aren't around. some other people are going to have to step up, some other names you probably don't want to see in there. But it did seem like it was thrown together with a bunch of random people. But I'm telling you, during the match, I didn't even think about it. It didn't even matter to me because the match was that good. The action was that good. I love how they started the show. The women set the tone with the women's war game match here at Survivor Series. I thought it was an excellent opening, an excellent match, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. And did they ever set the tone? I mean, just to kind of touch a little bit more on the hodgepodge of people, you've got at least two people who have beef with each other, or at least did earlier in the year, in Bailey and Io Sky, and they're on the same team. But
yeah,
they were able to put their differences aside and come away with a really impressive showing. This, holy crap, this was a fantastic match. Good way to open the show.
Much better than I thought it was going to be. And I think that was because of my preconceived notion going in that I wasn't excited. As excited for this one as I was the men's match, because how it seemed it was thrown together. But the 10 ladies they had in there all had their moment to shine, all stepped up in a big moment. And man, there was some impressive performances from this. I'm just going to go out and I'm just going to get out there and say it. This was Nia Jax's most entertaining match she's ever had. Aside from maybe the Ronda Rousey match she had when Alexa Bliss cashed in.
Okay. Wow, we're going old school today.
Regardless, I thought Nia Jax starting out this match was a big statement. She has definitely changed her physique and has dropped some pounds, and gave off to me the Yokozuna aura or vibe. And here's why.
Okay.
What she was doing in there, just tossing people around, doing that Yokozuna leg drop. It looks devastating when she's doing it. She makes it look believable. She's so much bigger in stature than most of the other women on the roster. So it's impressive to watch her throw people around like a Bailey, or throw people around like a Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give my props to Nia before we broke down this match, and how I thought she was amazing. I thought she was great. She looked like $1 million in this, and her starting off, I thought, really set the tone for this match. And she was one of the stronger figures throughout this match.
Would you say she was the MVP of the match, in your opinion?
You could say that. I mean, there were some other performances, but you could definitely throw her name in there and argue it for sure.
I mean, I don't know. It'd be hard to narrow down for me an MVP, but I've got to give props to Io Sky.
That's the other name that was kind of hanging out there, but go ahead.
So here's the thing. Io is known for putting a trash can over her head and diving off the top of the cage. She's done it 3 times now, I believe, after last night.
I think so.
But I have never seen her do a moonsault blind into 4 or 5 other people with a trash can on her head. That I'd be peeing myself. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's confidence in your workers and it's confidence in your craft. Io Sky is definitely the Empress of the Sky. She got a huge pop, I thought, when she came out. I think everybody was waiting for the big thing for her to do, and she did it. Tiffany Stratton also was had a moment to shine in this match.
Near cash-in, too.
I thought she was going to pin both women and take both belts. It's kind of what I was rooting for. When she was teasing that, like, tag, pin them both, walk out with both. And we've never seen that before, where we had a cash-in in a War Games match. And so, like, that was amplified a little bit. We kind of thought maybe we were going to get that. So that was going on.
Let me ask your opinion on that. We talked off air about possibly doing a kick out with around the fact that Tiffany may cash in during the War Games match. Mm-hmm. If she had cashed in, how does that change the dynamic of the match overall? Because both her teammates are both champions on the women's side are her teammates.
Well, I think it would change it. I think it would change it drastically. There would be an upheaval. If I was Tiffany, I would leave the match. There's no need to me and B to be around anymore. And you would think that it going to 5-on-4 would give the other side the true advantage. I think that's how it would change the match, or that's how I would see it changing the match if Tiffany would have cashed in. Because if I was Tiffany, I'd get the heck out of there. There's no need for me to be there anymore.
Well, then
That's how I see it. That's how I see it, like changing the match.
I was curious if it would just then become a free-for-all for the title if she cashed in and with all those people in there. I mean, I don't think it would, but I could see them kind of stretching it to be, okay, she's making this for the title. Whoever gets the pin gets the belt.
And there's also that caveat where, okay, she's cashing in. She doesn't have to tag either one of the champions, does she? It's the next fall, right? Everybody's involved in that match, right? So she doesn't have to tag a champion. So she could have tagged the nearest person, the way I interpret it, and walk out of there as the new champion.
It would have been interesting. I'd love to see them pull the trigger on that someday and see just exactly how they play it. It would have been damned interesting, but I don't want to compare Tiffany to Damian Priest, because he teased a little bit in last year's War Games match about possibly cashing in. But when does Tiffany cash in at this point?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we see it at Rumble.
And
I think
the reason I bring up Priest is because his
does it turn her face when she cashes in?
That's a good question.
Is she cashing on Nia? Does that turn her face, or does that turn Nia face?
That's a great
There's going to
question.
be an obvious pop when she cashes in. People are going to finally be happy to see it. I don't know if they're going to side with Tiffany with just how Tiffany acts and treats the crowd. So I don't know. Maybe we see it at Rumble. We've never seen it cashed in during the Rumble. Maybe we see it during Rumble.
That would be interesting too. That would be fantastic. The reason I brought up Priest is because his run with that briefcase got a little stagnant towards the end until Mania, when he actually did cash in. I don't think Tiffany's is going the same way, but at the same point, there's not really a clear picture as to when she will cash that briefcase in.
I'll admit, Priest's thing did grow kind of stagnant, but the payoff was worth it.